8 years ago, my 29 sister, 32, got pregnant. The father wasn't involved and my sister didn't want the baby, but she also couldn't bring herself to terminate or adopt out to strangers. She approached me and my, now ex-husband, and asked if we would be willing to adopt her child. We weren't sure as we were concerned this would lead to issues down the line, but my sister insisted that it wouldn't, so we ultimately agreed. Before Lucy was a year old, my husband left us both because my sister lied about Lucy's father. When Lucy was 4, I got together with my wife, and we married last year. My sister has said that seeing me and my wife with Lucy, who is now 7, confirms to her that she made the right decision. When I first adopted Lucy, my husband and I told my sister that we wanted multiple children, which she said she was fine with at the time, but now my wife and I are looking into our options and my sister objects. My sister has been staying with us since July because her boyfriend kicked her out. She keeps asking Lucy if she's sure she wants siblings. Lucy has said that she does, and telling us she's worried we won't be able to give Lucy what she needs, and then today happened. We had an online consultation with a fertility clinic to talk about sperm donation. We told my sister about it and asked her to keep an eye on Lucy while we talked. The Wi-Fi went randomly on and off 3 times during the session, booting us out of the call each time. The 3rd time, my wife went to check it and saw my sister holding the power cord, and Lucy trying to plug it back in. Lucy saw my wife and said Annie keeps turning the Wi-Fi off. Wife plugged it back in, but we could no longer get into the session and we got an email from the doctor saying that if the Wi-Fi is going to be this bad then maybe we should try a more local clinic as we can't do online consultations. When we confronted my sister, she admitted that she wants Lucy to be an only child so she has 100% of our undivided attention, and then said in a sarcastic tone, "Forgive me for only wanting what's best for my daughter," to which we responded that Lucy isn't her daughter. Things escalated until I said that my sister should go stay with our parents, and my wife drove her to their place. Since leaving, a few hours ago, she's apologized and begged to come back, and my parents have also asked me to take her back, but I've refused. They've all called me an idiot for kicking my own sister out after one argument, because now she's unable to get to work, no car and too far to walk, and she's back in her childhood room while at our place she had a studio to herself behind the house. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Even if your sister hadn't done the horrible thing she did, it is clear she shouldn't move back in. She clearly still sees Lucy as her daughter, with you and your wife as the caretakers rather than her parents. She seems to think she has an equal voice as to the number of kids in your family, when she has no voice at all. Definitely not the idiot. This is some petty childish behavior on your sister's part, and your parents shouldn't try to force her back on you after she tampered with what was to be a major life change. If this is how she behaves before a kid is brought into the picture, I'd be hesitant to have her around after the kid is born. Not the idiot, but you need to set boundaries with your sister yesterday. Don't involve her in your child plans and give yourself some space. The fact that she sabotaged an appointment with a clinic is beyond the pale. Also, your fears about issues down the line have come true. Maybe seek out a counselor that deals with familial adoption for guidance. My family is conservative, so my childhood/adolescence was basically hell. I was forced to do all the chores while my 2 brothers weren't. I didn't come to NC with my parents, because it's necessary not to cut contact with them. I'm the only one who lives in the same city, the others live too far away. On Saturday, another week, my parents called me saying that there was a problem with the electrical part in their house and they begged me to let them stay at my house for 4 days, as they would be spending a lot of money to fix it and they couldn't afford to stay at the hotel. I agreed, but said that I had my routine and would not be helping my father. They agreed. On the first day, it was pretty okay and my mom did everything for my dad. Next day, my mom had to make an emergency trip to her sister. Her sister paid for her to go and she lives in another city. In the morning, I went to work and had lunch at the company. When I got home, my father said, "Wow, I thought you would never come. Can you make something for me?" I just ate what your mother made for lunch in the morning. Keep in mind that my fridge was full and my father knows how to cook in addition to knowing how to use the cell phone, internet. He just didn't want to do it, because my mother does everything. Me, look, Dad, I'm really tired. Besides, I'm leaving here in an hour. It was 6 p.m. He started to complain, saying that he would get hungry, and that I should make him food for lunch and dinner, my role as a woman, etc. I just replied, "You have hands, you have a telephone, There is the pizzeria contact on the fridge if you don't want to make food, but I won't make it. The night was good and I only returned at 1 a.m. My father was already sleeping and mum didn't come back. I woke up late, so I just ran to work without even saying hello to him, so I didn't pay attention to anything. As the day before, I ate at work. When it was about 4 p.m., my mother called me screaming saying that my father was dizzy with hunger, because I refused to make him anything and I knew he doesn't do those things, so it wouldn't cost me anything to make even a basic snack for him, but I preferred to let him starve. I pointed out what I said before they came and she started saying that this was negligence with an elderly person, who is capable of doing everything. They left before I got home and stayed at a random person's house. My brothers are giving me hell accusing me of being petty and vindictive, just like my parents. I don't think I'm wrong, but I would like an outside perspective. Am I the idiot? Father is 63 years old and mother is 60 years old. I wouldn't be surprised if he fixed himself a snack at some point and lied to your mother about feeling faint from hunger in order to make a point/maintain the illusion. Whatever. He's an adult and you are not his keeper. If your mother chooses to enable him, that's on her. You are under no obligation to do the same, and shouldn't. Not the idiot. Not the idiot, but you say it's necessary to remain in contact. Necessary for who? Are they paying for any aspect of your life? Are they supplying anything beneficial to you in any way, shape, or form? Because if the only reason it's necessary is for their benefit and all it's supplying you is stress and mental health issues, then it isn't necessary and it just apparently brainwashed you to let them continue being abusive idiots into your adulthood. Not the idiot, he can starve. Literally, if he's too childish to call for a pizza, he can just starve. I mean, I'm also from a conservative family and my GMA does most everything for my GPA, but even he went somewhere to eat when she wasn't home. He also did some basic cooking when she had cancer. It wasn't exceptional, but he managed to feed them mostly. Seriously, let him starve. I, 44, am a single father to a 14-year-old daughter. I have raised her on my own since her mother passed away 10 years ago. Since the beginning, I was not a fan of being a strict father. I came from a household like that, and all it did was give me a miserable childhood and a strained relationship with my parents. And a crap ton of therapy. 2 weeks ago, my sister's house got flooded. They found out that the foundation rotted. I offered them to move into my finished basement with a separate entrance, house built on a hill. So right now her husband, her 3 sons, 16, 13 and 9, and her are living in my 3-bedroom basement. It has a full bathroom and kitchen/living room. Usually they have their life and we have ours, but we hang out for a couple hours every day. And that's when the trouble started. Like I said, I don't have too many rules for my daughter. As long as I know where she is and she is back by 9 p.m., she is free to go wherever she wants, within limits of course. I do not control what she wears or what makeup she puts on as long as she follows her school dress code. And of course she dresses appropriately for special occasions. She does not have a bedtime. I do not check if she did her homework. She has a lock on her door and I always ask permission before going in. If she does not like what I plan to make for a meal, she is free to cook something else/order takeout, as long as she informs me before I start cooking, and no ordering in more than twice a week. Also, she uses her money to order in. Now these rules are a result of me having a good kid, her earning my trust, and me wanting her to grow up as independent as possible while learning to self-regulate and keeping her safety in mind. My sister, on the other hand, is very strict. She has her kids on a set routine. They are not allowed to have closed doors except while changing. She checks their electronics all the time. They are rarely allowed to go anywhere. They eat what she cooked or they starve. If she allows them not to eat what she made, that is, she is so on top of their schooling that I feel bad for the teachers. She always emailing them or calling them or even going to school. They do not get pocket money and are not allowed to work. And even the 16-year-old has a 9 p.m. bedtime school nights/10 p.m. weekends. I don't agree with her parenting style, but I keep my opinions to myself. But now she is demanding that I give my daughter more rules, because her kids are comparing themselves to their cousin, and they are rebelling. So I told her straight to her face, she either keeps her opinion to herself and parent her kids and leave my daughter to me, or she is free to find somewhere else to live. She says I'm an idiot because I don't know how my lax parenting is only adding more stress to her already stressful life, and threatening her with homelessness is a very low blow. So am I the idiot? Not the idiot. She has no right to tell you how to parent your child ever. You have been gracious enough letting her entire family move into your home, and she is treating you like a child. A child she wants to control like her own kids. You need to talk to your daughter and make sure your sister isn't saying things to her when you aren't around. If she is, then she needs to leave. Not the idiot. Different kids require different things. My parents treated me the way you treat your daughter because I proved I could be trusted with that freedom. But they were much stricter with my older brother because he proved he could not be. Your sister isn't necessarily wrong for being stricter with her children. They may need a firmer hand than your daughter does. She is wrong to try to dictate how you should parent. Your parenting choices are not what is causing the problem. It's her strict parenting choices that are causing the problem. People can't conform their life to avoid showing her kids that other people live differently. Nonetheless, if living with you is causing her extra stress, even if it's your life choices that come with the lodging, then she's welcome to find other accommodations.